Hello, and welcome to the Mind Detective, your one-stop shop for all things psychology and mind control. I'm your host, Detective Mind, and today we're going to be talking about 6 dark psychology tricks that people use on you every day. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you were being manipulated? Maybe you've been in a relationship with someone who always seemed to be gaslighting you. Or maybe you've worked for a boss who used guilt tripping to get you to do extra work. Whatever the case may be, it's important to be aware of the dark psychology tricks that people use on you every day. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at 6 of the most common dark psychology tricks. We'll discuss how each trick works, and we'll give you some tips on how to protect yourself. So if you're ready to learn how to outsmart the manipulators, stick around. We're about to get started. Trick hash 1. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the manipulator tries to make the victim question their own sanity or reality. They may do this by denying things that happened, contradicting the victim's memories, or blaming the victim for the manipulator's own mistakes. Example: a gaslighting partner might deny saying something that they actually said, or they might tell the victim that they're imagining things. They might also blame the victim for their own bad behavior, or make the victim feel like they're crazy for being upset. How to protect yourself. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Keep a journal to document your experiences and conversations. Talk to a trusted friend or family member about your concerns. Seek professional help if you feel like you're being gaslighted. Trick hash 2. Love bombing. Love bombing is a technique used by manipulators to quickly gain the affection and trust of their victims. They may shower the victim with gifts, compliments, and attention. This can create a feeling of euphoria in the victim, making them more susceptible to the manipulator's demands. Example: a love bombing partner might give the victim expensive gifts, take them on extravagant dates, and tell them over and over again how much they love them. This can make the victim feel like they've found their soulmate, but it's important to remember that love bombing is just a manipulation technique. How to protect yourself. Be wary of people who come on too strong. Take your time getting to know someone before you commit to a relationship. Pay attention to the person's actions, not just their words. If you feel like you're being love-bombed, talk to a trusted friend or family member about your concerns. Trick hash 3. Intermittent reinforcement. Intermittent reinforcement is a type of conditioning in which the manipulator rewards the victim for certain behaviors, but not always. This creates a pattern of uncertainty and addiction in the victim, making them more likely to keep trying to please the manipulator. Example: a boss who uses intermittent reinforcement might praise the employee for doing a good job on one project, but then criticize them for the next project. This can make the employee feel like they're constantly walking on eggshells, and it can motivate them to work harder to please the boss. How to protect yourself. Be aware of the intermittent reinforcement cycle. Don't let your self-worth depend on the approval of others. Set boundaries and don't be afraid to say no. Build a strong support network of friends and family members who can support you. Trick hash 4. Guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is a technique used by manipulators to make the victim feel guilty or ashamed for not doing what the manipulator wants. They may use phrases like, "You don't love me," or "You're so selfish," to make the victim feel bad. Example: a guilt-tripping parent might tell their child that they're disappointed in them if the child doesn't get good grades in school. Or, a guilt-tripping partner might tell their spouse that they're not being supportive if the spouse doesn't help them with their work. How to protect yourself. Remember that you are not responsible for the feelings of others. It is okay to say no to requests that make you feel uncomfortable. Set boundaries and don't be afraid to enforce them. Talk to a trusted friend or family member about your concerns. Trick hash 5. Triangulation. Triangulation is a technique used by manipulators to create conflict and jealousy between 2 or more people. They may do this by talking about one person to another, or by setting up situations where the 2 people are forced to compete with each other. Example: a triangulating parent might tell their child that they love the other child more. Or, a triangulating partner might tell their spouse that their friends are more important to them than the spouse is. How to protect yourself. Don't get caught up in the manipulator's game. Talk to the other person involved in the triangulation and let them know what's going on. Set boundaries with the manipulator and don't engage in their triangulation tactics. Seek professional help if you're struggling to deal with the triangulation. Trick hash 6. Negging. Negging is a form of emotional manipulation in which the manipulator puts down the victim's appearance, intelligence, or abilities. They may do this in a subtle way, such as making backhanded compliments or joking about the victim's flaws. Example, a negging partner might tell their spouse that their new haircut makes them look old, or they might joke about the spouse's intelligence. Negging can be very damaging to the victim's self-esteem, and it can make them more vulnerable to the manipulator's control. How to protect yourself. Recognize negging for what it is: manipulation. Don't take negging personally. Remember that the manipulator is trying to get into your head and make you feel bad about yourself. Stand up for yourself and tell the manipulator to stop. Walk away from the situation if the manipulator doesn't stop negging you. These are just a few of the dark psychology tricks that people use on you every day. It's important to be aware of these tricks so that you can protect yourself from being manipulated. Here are some additional tips for protecting yourself from dark psychology tricks. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Set boundaries and don't be afraid to say no. Build a strong support network of friends and family members who can support you. Seek professional help if you feel like you're being manipulated. Remember, you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. Don't let anyone manipulate you into doing something you don't want to do. Thank you for watching this video on 6 dark psychology tricks that people use on you every day. I hope this information has been helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below.